Hey everyone, I'm Tracy. I am your Speech 131 professor for the next 8 weeks for the summer session 2. And what this video is basically just a quick welcome and just to maybe clear up a little bit of confusion or answer any questions you might have about moving your way through the course. So when you log on to the Eagle course, you're going to see that the class is set up in modules. The first module is the Start Here module, so hopefully that gives you the clue that that is where you should start, right? How ideally worded. In the Start Here module, you will find a welcome letter. This welcome letter can be considered an extension of the syllabus, so I want you to go ahead and read through that. But basically what it says is that you're going to be recording your speeches using YouTube, Zoom, or Screencast. Basically, you're going to be submitting to me a YouTube URL. Okay, so it's going to give you the directions of how to do that. And the reason that we have a URL that you're going to be turning that into me is because it stops me from having to download 50 different speeches and putting that on my personal computer or my work computer. It takes too long. So just being able to click that YouTube link is going to make it a lot easier for you, for me, for everybody. So we're going to keep it that way. I've eliminated any privacy issues you might have about putting anything out on YouTube. What you need to do is mark your video as unlisted. If you mark your video as unlisted, the only people who will be able to view the video are those who have the URL. So yourself and me. I'm not going to share it with anybody else. And then when the semester is over, you can go ahead and delete it if you would like. Do not mark your video as private and then share the URL because I still won't be able to view it. Okay. So go ahead and read those directions here. You can go through and read the next 6 criteria, but basically when you are recording, there's a couple things I'm looking for. Specifically for your informative and your persuasive speech, you need to dress professionally. It's part of building ethos. It's part of building your credibility. You need to be standing if able-bodied because that allows for a more realistic public speaking experience. You're only going to be using note cards when you speak, so no reading from a computer screen or no reading from long printed out scripts or outlines. No editing your speeches. Once I put this in here, it really hasn't been a problem, but there was a lot of students right when this pandemic first started, they would edit their speeches, so I'd see it like nicely fade or a part, cut out, and it was very awkward and not real to the public speaking experience. So we're trying to make this experience as real as possible, even though it is online. So since we're in a global pandemic, IAA still says we do not have to have an audience, so yay for you. So it's just you and the camera, which is fine with me. For the informative speech, and the persuasive speech, you are going to have a visual aid. So remember, it's important you need to find a way to project that visual aid to me. So number 6 breaks down different ways that you can do that. You can do it by connecting your TV screen. You can do it by using Zoom, a couple different ways. And I would also recommend watching this video that the media department put together for our students. You can also do a screencast like I'm doing, which is a free program where you can not only record your screen, but you can record yourself too by using your webcam. So all are really great options. So go ahead and read through those directions on your own time. I'm not going to read them to you because obviously you can read. This is a textbook you're going to need. You're going to find the link for it on the homepage, and I'll show you where that is in a second. But all you need for the textbook is a MindTap Access. That is going to give you access to the ebook and access to the quizzes and the final exam that you're going to need. If you would like to purchase a hard copy of the book because that's how you learn, that is certainly okay to do as well, but you do not need to spend the extra money. Okay. Late work, no late work on quizzes. I will accept other late work, small writing assignments, outlines, discussions, speeches, but it'll be a penalty of 20%, no matter what the excuse is. I understand people get sick. I understand babysitters cancel. I understand bad things happen and sometimes life crashes down on us. But in order to be fair to all students, I have to treat each excuse the same. So no matter what the excuse, we have a policy that's going to cover us. It's 20%. It's just a couple points in some cases. So it's really not going to destroy your grade in the course, but I just have to be fair to everybody. If it's more than 1 week past the extension, it'll be a 0. And also, if you decide you can't get your persuasive speech turned in on time, which is the last speech of the semester, there is no more 1 week because the semester ends. So it really kind of only applies to the beginning of the semester and the middle of the semester, because that last speech, it's due and then the semester ends. So consider this extension of this welcome letter an extension of the syllabus, and I insert links every once in a while so you don't have to, you can easily navigate your way around. Okay. So I'm going to go back home. And that was a welcome letter we just went over. Here's the grading scale, but you're also going to find that in the syllabus. My contact information, email me using Eagle. It's the only way I'm supposed to be communicating with my students. And it is the quickest way to get a response. I check my email a couple times a day. Email policy just reminds you to use professionalism in email. And here is the syllabus. You can go ahead and read this on your own time. It's definitely something you want to do. It's a college standard to make sure you are reading that syllabus. And basically it covers in a little bit more detail what was said in the welcome letter. It reminds you of some RBC policies, some student learning outcomes. It reminds you about which textbook you need. It also gives you the really good reminder that in order to pass the class, no matter how many points you have, the policy for the state of Illinois, IAI, Rock Valley College, and our department is you have to give 3 individual speeches, one of those being informative and one of those being a persuasive. You have to be up in front of the room, actually, well, there is no room, but up in front of an audience, which there also isn't either, for 22 minutes. But since we are in a pandemic, that audience element has been waived, but you still have to give those 3 speeches in order to pass the course. And if you don't, it is just an automatic failure. It happens every semester, and it is just as disappointing as the first time it happens, because you come so far and then you don't turn in this one speech and it's just not going to fly. So you have to turn in those speeches. All right. If you would like to drop the course, it's a student-initiated withdrawal. Okay, and then those are the dates to do a student-initiated withdrawal. June 17th and July 21st is the last day to withdraw from the class in order to receive a W and not an F on your transcript. So make sure you pay attention to those dates. And also, please try to remember that it's a student-initiated withdrawal. It's on you to get yourself out of the course. Okay. You guys can read this. Tutoring, there's the number if you need it, even though, there's still a little bit of a pandemic going on for sure. We still have all of these services available for you. Okay, my thoughts about this, go ahead and read this on your own time, but just know that I'm not here to make your life miserable. I'm not trying to make this what some would consider a painless process of public speaking. I'm not trying to add anxiety to your life or make this a horrible experience for you. I once was a student in this class at the university that I attended, and I was petrified of public speaking. I thought, what a stupid course for students to have to take. And lo and behold, here I am today. So I am a success story out of the class. I found a lot of joy in studying the discipline and social behaviors. It deals with psych. And so taking this class really kind of changed the way I view just communication overall as a discipline, the need to study it, the reasons to study it. So while, those first couple weeks of what my class was called COM 110, I had a very high level of anxiety. Getting through the course really, really changed how my life turned out. So I hope that while you are probably going to experience some anxiety, even the most seasoned public speakers do, I hope that you find this course beneficial, and I hope that you find this course as painless as possible, because I know we have anxiety. Even if you say you don't, you do. There are 2 types of people, those who say they're nervous and those who are liars. It's a wonderful quote that I like to remind students of. All right, here's how we break down your final grades. You can take a look at that. The grading scale, awkwardly positioned on 2 pages here, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, so on and so on. And then the 8-week schedule here that I threw in for you, but honestly, the detailed schedule that you really want to look at, where did the mouse go? There it is back here on our Eagle homepage. Okay, so once you get through the Start Here module, we'll come back to these little modules here. If you look down week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, and final exam, it's all telling you what you need to do. So like in week 1, to do this week, read and watch. It's going to tell you you need to do this. It's going to explain it. Watch, and the bag speech explanation, here's the bag directions. So I try to provide lectures, how-to lectures of how to do the assignments, and maybe a little what is going on in the week. But also remember too that some of these videos were filmed, they're pre-recorded. I need to make some kind of generic videos, but I think it's pretty easy to remember that you are in summer session 2, and these are the due dates that you need to go by. Okay, so going back up here to the modules up here, helpful tools, personal and wellness. Go ahead and read through that on your own, but we have a food pantry, we have a personal success counselor, we have everything that you need, hopefully, as a student of higher education. Helpful tools academics, this is going to give you a link to our handbook. It's going to give you a link to Purdue OWL so that you know how to do works cited or reference page. Okay, Rock Valley databases, and then campus tech support is another good link in case something goes wrong with Eagle, in case something goes wrong with your computer, your Rock Valley computer. They are there to help you. What you should do first in order to get the textbook is go through and watch these videos so you understand how registration works. Always make sure that you are entering the textbook via Eagle. Do not go to Cengage.com and try to find it. You always want to make sure you click this link, because if you go to Cengage.com and try to find it, it's going to ask you to ask your instructor for an access code, and I do not have an access code. The access code, the key to get into that textbook, is Eagle or Canvas. Okay. And then the other modules, like I said, are a week by week module setup. And so you just kind of want to follow those, and it gives you due dates listed here. And that's really it. Most stuff is due on Sundays at midnight, but not always. So in like week 2, we run into an issue with 4th of July. I don't want to make a speech due on the 4th of July, and we don't have class on July 5th. So while I assign this speech in week 2, it's not due until week 3, but it's due on July 2nd, which I think is a Friday. So you'll find stuff sometimes is due in the middle of the week. Sometimes I'm working around a holiday. But just check those due dates, and you're always going to get reminders up here in your calendar that something is coming up and something that is due. I also try to send announcements to you guys to remind you about big upcoming speeches, and try to answer any questions and keep you guys updated on what is going on. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and email me, always using Eagle, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But that is pretty much the welcome. That is the setup of the course. Make sure you go ahead and read, again, that welcome letter, and make sure you read the syllabus there, and then just browse the modules and look at the assignments, look at the due dates, and let me know if you guys have any questions.